Changed the format, didn't he? Changed the team. Absolutely fantastic.
Hi, I'm Mark Page. Welcome to this week's edition of Red Army TV. Now, a few weeks ago I said, hey guys, come round my gaff here on Teesside. Come and sit in the Ayresome Park dressing room. Great setting for Red Army TV. So the lads came over and said, but you can host the show as well. What the heck's that about? Anyway, so welcome to my gaff. My special guests today, I have two great Borough fans with me, Caroline and Anthony. We're going to be looking back at the Everton game, looking ahead to the FA Cup 5th round game as well this coming weekend. A Borough legend. He played for the Borough at 16 years of age, when most of us are just doing GCSEs and O-levels. He made his Borough debut in a borrowed shirt against Liverpool. Andy Campbell's on the show a bit later on. Joe Nicholson looks back as well with his match report for that Everton game, and also on the show today as well, we look back at 1 year since we lost Ali Brownlee, Borough legend. So let's look back at the weekend's game. Here's Caroline Walker, here's Anthony Ward, two big Borough fans. Caroline, what sticks out for you in your memory as your best ever Borough game that you saw?
Best ever Borough game? Oh gosh, there's so many of them. Obviously Cardiff,
Yeah.
Everybody says that, no doubt. There was a semi-final game against Everton in the Cup. Tony Mowbray, couple of goals, Ayresome Park. Brighton 2 seasons ago, last season, promotion game.
Yep.
I don't think we've ever topped that atmosphere at the Riverside, and I don't think we ever will again. Fabulous game. Eindhoven, of course. Of course.
You must have been drunk in the fan square again then, if you enjoyed it that much. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was a great day till the football spilled it, as often it does with great days out, unfortunately. But there's been so many. There's been actually more highs than we remember, probably. I started going in the late 60s. Ayresome Park days, all standing. We went through some tough times, but then you go through the good times as well. And when you think that you've seen players like Janino, Ravanelli, Emerson, Alan Boxic, Victor Valdez, who would have ever thought that a Barcelona goalkeeper, a Barcelona player, and now we've actually got two ex-Barcelona players, haven't we, in the squad, because Traore, Adama was at Barcelona as well. Who would ever have thought that would have happened at Middlesbrough?
Well, the last 20 years have been amazing. And any particular game that, Caroline's listed, I think, every game, every decent game we've ever played in the last 2-3 decades. What about you? Any particular games stick out in memory for you?
Yeah, well, obviously the UEFA Cup. Steaua Bucharest, Basel.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, for me personally, the FA Cup games against Everton, where we went to 2 or 3 replays with them.
Yeah.
Couple of trips to Goodison, Ayresome Park. Gary Parkinson scored an absolute belter from about 30 yards. Those games, obviously, for the atmosphere, long live in the memory. So they're up there.
Okay, I'm glad you mentioned Everton. So what did you think of the game at the weekend? It was just 1 point. But overall, did you think it was a good Borough performance?
I thought it was one of the best performances we've put in for quite a long time, actually. Solid defensively, but we actually did show some attacking intent. Okay, we didn't score. Perhaps if the bullet header, the flying header across the box, had gone in towards the end, it would have been perfect, as the manager said, almost perfect. A lot to be pleased about, and a lot to actually think going forward. We play like that, we're okay.
Yeah. Anthony, do you think we were a lot more attacking? It's just the fact that a goal never happened, but were we more an attacking team this time?
We were. I was actually quite surprised on Saturday, because when I seen the team, I was really disappointed, because we'd been away to Spain for 4 days for warm weather training, and I was under the impression that we'd go there and we'd try a few things with tactics and maybe have a look at a few different options. And I see the team sheet come out 2 o'clock on Saturday, and I was a bit disappointed that he hadn't actually changed anything. And then we came out onto the pitch and we were just a completely different team. We were pressing certain players, and Clayton was straight on his man. He was biting at his back heels. He wouldn't give him a bit of space. Darun stepped his game up. He was chasing everything down. Negredo was holding the ball up really well. Traore bursting forward again. He was being supported well, and it was almost as if he'd said to them, look, get out there, get onto them and push them back, and we did that, and particularly in the last 20 minutes, you know, we had a couple of chances to score. I mean, Gibbo had a header cleared off the line. Obviously, Gusted had a header, and we looked like being the more likely to win the game. And I thought, I come out of the ground actually, and I thought 0-0 against Everton. We haven't scored again. Everyone's going to be a bit flat about the game, but everyone was absolutely buzzing. It's given us another, you know, we stepped it up a level.
What about Ben Gibson? Did you think he had, you know, Romelu Lukaku in his back pocket?
I think he took his shorts off, put them in the washing machine, and the guy climbed out. Absolutely superb performance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. When I see some of the centre halves that are getting picked for England, I shake my head because he's just so consistently good. I mean, Lukaku, don't forget, 4 goals, 7 days before? He had one half chance, which Valdez obviously came out and smothered. Other than that, I think they said on Sky Sports he touched the ball 24 times in the entire match, Lukaku. Brilliant performance. Brilliant performance. And one of our own, as they say.
And he's captain now. Do you think it's the ridiculous thing nowadays? If you even play just maybe 10 good games in the Premier League and you're English, you'll get picked for England, you know. But we know as Borough fans that Ben Gibson's done a sterling job the last 2-3 years. He's come on strong. Do you think he's likely to get an England call-up, Anth?
He'll get an England call-up.
Yeah.
He'll probably be a future England captain. And people forget with Ben Gibson is that the poor guy has to play with different people at the centre, at the heart of defence with him almost every few weeks. You know, it was Bernardo, then it's Chambers, then it's Ayala. You know, you look at good England defenders; they've got a solid defensive partnership along. You know, John Terry and co, and they've got a solid. He's having to adapt to different players every week, and it doesn't matter who goes alongside him. Solid. He commands the defence, and I think he's pretty much every Premiership manager would have him in the team.
Absolutely. And we forget he's still young.
Yeah.
I think he's, you know, certainly this season, by the end of the season, if he hasn't had an England cap, you know, I look at players like Michael Keane and people like that at Burnley, and I watched Burnley at the weekend, and I watched Michael Keane in particular, and he's nowhere near the level of Gibson.
Well, you just got to be spotted, haven't you? It's just sometimes your club is in or out of favour, isn't it?
But the new England manager should know what he can do.
Yeah, you would hope so.
You would hope so, absolutely.
Yeah.
He taught him a fair bit of it, potentially.
Yeah. Victor Valdez had a great game on Saturday. How do you think he's performed these last few games?
After he first maybe 2 or 3 games, took him a while to settle in. Not unsurprisingly, there's not want to be stereotypical, but there's a bit of a difference between Barcelona Football Club and Middlesbrough Football Club, or Manchester United. You know, he's been at big clubs. He's superb. He's fantastic. And it's not only his saves, he is now commanding the box. His distribution at times is Barcelona-like.
Yeah.
His kicks or his throws out are fantastic. I don't think there's any better. And I think just the name and the presence, and of course when the fans start singing, he's won more than you, to the opposition, it actually says it all.
Yeah.
Fantastic signing, actually. Fantastic.
But back to goals, we looked a lot better, a lot more attacking. When are those goals going to come, Anth?
Well, I mean...
Do you know? Because we can all put a bet on it then. Yeah.
I've seen a league table that was printed, and this is, I know it's a different league, but I see when AC Milan won the league, when they had Maldini and Cafu and Rivaldo and Shevchenko, and they won the league and they scored 35 goals. I look at the team now and you think, where is the next goal coming from? 2 weeks ago, I didn't have a clue. After Saturday, I think someone's going to be on the wrong end of a hiding soon, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they'll come.
Negredo's now starting to... He's changed his game since he's come to Borough. You know, when he was at Man City, he was a goal scorer. He went to Valencia, he had to adapt his style and change his game. He's come to Borough, you know, everything's not going to be on a plate. He's got to work for his chances. Obviously, he's got to have a bit of service as well.
Absolutely.
And he's starting to show now that he's linking up with other players, and you know, it'll be like before. He'll get a goal and he'll go on another run. And I do believe that someone's going to get a good hiding soon.
Yeah, he's the best player we've had with his back to goal since Mark Viduka, who was a master at that. I think Negredo, for the tactics we play, the way we play, there's nobody better. Personally, I can't understand all the criticism he's been getting.
Yeah.
I really can't. You know, assists and goals, he's way ahead of anybody else in our team.
Well, let's look at the Oxford game a little bit later on in the show. Andy Campbell's coming up. a Borough lad who made his debut at the age of 16. He's coming up on the show as well. But now let's have a look at your social media tweets and Facebook, just before Joe Nicholson's match report as well. So Ross Hendry is saying, is that Lukaku I see in Ben Gibson's pocket? Not a bad graphic there, yeah, but we've all got Photoshop. Callum Chambers says, decent result against an informed Everton team. Good to get another clean sheet. Nice to see that from Callum. And John Kavanagh said, good point today, and everybody around us didn't pick up points, more importantly. Well, of course, but that followed, of course, the Swansea game just after that. Sharon Collins said, good fight, just their goalie kept saving it. Damn him. Quite right there too. Paul David McCulloch, how many names do you want? Said decent point against Everton, but now we need to pick up points against the teams around us. Time to bring Ledbetter back in. Interesting one, that one. Robbie Taylor says good performance, but no goals or cutting edge again. Just the opposite to what we've been saying here. We've got a cutting edge, but no goals yet. Robbie, thanks for that one. Okay, we have Joe Nicholson's Everton match report coming up, but first, your fan rants.
Today's game?
I thought it was fantastic. Just disappointed with the result, which is somewhat, says something that you're disappointed. Great. I thought I played excellent, Middlesbrough. The best game of the season for me. They got stuck in. I think they should go away to Spain every week. They played really, really well.
Today's game?
Pretty good today, pretty good. We missed cracking chances right at the end before our balls came off, but overall, satisfied, really satisfied.
Great, thank
Lad's
you.
first game today as well.
Your first game?
He is, he's only 5, so first game, did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Love it.
We'll be back next week.
Great.
All right, thanks a lot,
care,
mate.
I thought it was a fair result. End of it, like we could a couple of chances, could have scored. But it's getting better, I think. I just hope we stay up.
Well, I was happy to take a point. I thought we might have maybe. I thought we played really well today, just unlucky.
Yeah. Good game, really good game. Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah, go on, you can answer too.
Go on then.
it was a really good game. We played really well, and we didn't get beat 3-1 like last time we played Everton away.
Should we have won?
Yeah, we should have won at the last
Very unlucky,
minute.
weren't we?
Yeah, really good game.
Great, lovely, thanks. Say hello then. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So it was another goalless draw for Borough on Saturday as they drew 0-0 with Everton. Another hard-working, committed performance from Aitor Karanka's side, but they just couldn't find that bit of quality, that bit of luck in the final third to nick all 3 points late on. I thought in the first half we were getting the ball and again just lacked a little bit of ambition. Karanka stuck with the 4-3-3, and when the likes of Gibson and Espinosa were getting the ball at the back, just lacked a bit of movement to really trouble the Everton defence, and they hit us on the counter-attack a couple of times, a couple of great saves from Victor Valdez to keep us in the game. But Borough kept working, and in the second half they had a bit more of a go, had a couple of chances late on, a cross from Fabio, almost turned in by Negredo at the back post, and in the dying minutes, a great header from Rudy Gusted was met by an equally good save by the Everton goalkeeper, Joel Robles. I thought when Ramirez and Guardiola, Gusted came on, they all had an impact on the game and drove Borough on going forward as we look to get all 3 points late on. A draw, probably a fair result in the end, and 0-0 it finished.
Okay, Joe, thanks for that. Well, it's 1 year on since we lost Alistair Brownlee, the BBC T's football commentator and, of course, Borough legend. And me, like a lot of people, listen to Alistair. I went to school with Alistair. We played football together. A very sad loss, I know, to all Borough fans and fans who followed the Borough on the radio as well. And I have to say that certainly during his Century radio days as well, they were some of the greatest days in Borough's history, and also peaks as well, I have to say, in Alistair's commentating career. Fantastic. Just think of the Stour Bucharest game, etc. So let's see your reaction to the anniversary, 1 year on from when we lost Alistair. Eramus here, gone but not forgotten. Ali Brownlee, one of our own. Kieran Bishop says there's only one Ali Brownlee, 1 year and never forgotten. Louise says class again from Red Faction 08, always remembered. Ali Brownlee, one of our own, up the Borough. Jamie Pitt, he says gone but not forgotten, a true legend, and Teessider as well, of course. And Ian Smith says used to love Ali and Bernie's commentaries. Ali looking through rose-tinted glasses, yeah, like I was saying, and Bernie the realist. Comedy at times, yeah, there were some real funny moments there. And I remember meeting the guys in the square at Eindhoven before they were going off to commentate on that. They were great days for sure. Okay, let's catch up on the rest of the Borough news with the person who should be doing the show instead of me, Dave Roberts.
As mentioned earlier in the show, this week marks the anniversary of losing Borough commentator Alistair Brownlee. RedArmy.tv gave out over 300 one of our own T-shirts ahead of the Everton game, and it was great to see so many fans paying their tributes. Having worked alongside Ali for so long, particularly as part of the Roberts and Brownlee Century radio show, apologies for using this bulletin to send my love to Wendy and the girls. Are you in the professional game? Fancy working for the Borough? Well, the Borough's searching for a professional development phase coach to work with their academy players. You'll need a UEFA A licence and must have professional game experience. And it's hats off to Red Faction, who pulled off a cracking night, all in a good cause. The Scarbeats took centre stage in their annual charity night at Liberties in Middlesbrough. The event took place immediately after the Everton game, and over £3,000 was raised in aid of the Teesside Hospice. And don't forget, if you have any Borough-related news, we'd love to plug it. Get in touch. Email us at studio@redarmy.tv or via social media. It's at Borough Red Army.
Great to see you, Andy. I followed you at the Riverside. You playing for the Borough. You were a local lad, and amazingly, as a 16-year-old schoolie, you made your debut for the Borough. Tell us about that first game you played.
It's just surreal. It's a great story. As I say, we always used to have a young player go to every game. So Robbo, he must have Man United days, that he always had a young player to every game, helping out with the kit man, just being part of it and feeling part of it. So it was Good Friday, Sheffield Wednesday at home, live Sky game. The manager made a few changes, and I was there. It's my turn to help out. And what I didn't know is he'd already spoke to me mum and dad and told them that I'd be on the bench, and when he's named the team and put the team sheet on the wall, and I've seen my name at the bottom with my shirt number, and just thought, this is a little bit of a joke. And players helped me out, which were great, and the manager and Viv and Gordon McQueen, and thankfully enough, with about 8 minutes to go, I got my opportunity, and the lad were in 3-1, and Chris Freestone got his goal, and I came off for Chris, and it was just a great day for me and for my family.
What did your schoolmates think?
Yeah, as I say, I was just left school, and it was just surreal that we just 16-year-old. It was just great, and it was, in my wildest dreams, never expected it, but it was a great achievement and something that I'm extremely proud of. And I think watching the game back, I've done over a few times over my life and over my career, that it just doesn't seem like it's me, and it just seems it's a great achievement.
So that season. Yeah. It was early on in the Riverside. Who was in the Borough team at that time?
Yeah, so it was the first season at Riverside. Riverside had just opened, and obviously Nick Barnby, Jan Agafjortoft, with a couple of people, Dick Higgy, the lads who were keeping me out in the team, and Chris Freestone came through. He scored all bags of goals and reserves, and it's just a really good side. And obviously we did really well, and started the season really well, and won the first game at home, and finished the season strongly. And I think we just got safe the game before that. I got me opportunity, and as I said, the Sheffield Wednesday game on Sky, and we really showed the football world what we could do that game, and we kicked on for the rest of the season, really.
So that season, actually, that first season at the Riverside, you're actually still training at where I've got the stuff from, the dressing room at Ayresome Park. That was the training ground.
Yeah, we'd moved from Tollesby Road and the prison and the beach, and wherever we could get our balls laid down, really. And went at Ayresome Park, great training ground. You know what I mean? It was surreal, because I'd only watched together with my dad and stuff, and so to train there and then to play the Riverside was just a great for me, and to play with the players that I played with and everything. Yeah, I stayed there for a couple of years as a training ground. It was a great best to have, really.
Tell me about playing at Liverpool. That's a good story.
That is a good story, yeah. So same again, that the manager was quite sneaky again, that he rang my parents on the Friday, told them that I was playing, so get themselves down, drive down, and got him a ticket.
So this is away at Liverpool, at Anfield,
yeah. So it was Ian Rush's last game, made it even more special. On the Friday, didn't tell me I was playing, nothing. Shared a room with Jan Agafjortoft, which was great. Learned obviously different experiences throughout that night as well. Woke up, nothing changed. Expected to be not even in the squad, really. You know what I mean? Expected to be sub at best and to be involved in the squad. Named the team about 1:30, 1:45, and I was in the team and Jan wasn't, which was a little bit uncomfortable to say the least. But great opportunity for myself. But got to the ground, didn't have a shirt.
So it was a surprise to the kit man as well.
Yeah, so obviously I think the manager made a last minute decision, because obviously we were in the away kit this week and didn't have a kit that was going to be suitable for me to wear, and so the manager took his shirt, which he was going to be on the bench, decided not to be on the bench, give it to one of the supporters. I got a blank shirt, which I've got to this day. And
so Robbo swapped his shirt for a supporter's shirt because it was a blank, and so some guy had turned up, some Borough fan had turned up at Anfield in a Borough away shirt.
And got his.
Right.
And I wore mine for the game, which was a great experience. To play at Anfield, as a kid, you watched them growing up. To play against Neil Ruddock and all the top stars, what they had was a great day. Ian Rush's last game, so we all made a guard of honour for him, and yeah, it's a fantastic occasion for me personally, but to be part of it. And got beat 1-0. It was 0-0 when I came off. I came off about 72 minutes. So I didn't score, but really enjoyed it, thoroughly enjoyed it, and played my part in the day, really.
Tell us about the next few seasons at the Borough.
A little bit frustrating, really, to be fair. The club, as a football club, has taken off. We brought in some world-class footballers, Ravanelli, Boxic, Janino. So we brought in some unbelievable players, and it was a great time for the football club, great time for me personally to watch and to learn from these players. But game time on the pitch was frustrating, so I had to move away and get some loan time. And luckily enough for myself, Steve Bruce, which was Brian Upson's good friend, was Sheffield United manager, so he took me there for a couple of months, gave me time. And Sam Allardyce was also Robbo's good friend at Bolton, took me there as well. So I got some game time elsewhere, which was good for my development, but I didn't get the game time at the club, which I wanted really. So I had to make a decision and go there just for personal reasons and to get some football time.
But you were sold for £1 million. Hey, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, as I say, I went back to Middlesbrough and had a good couple of seasons, but then things didn't work out for the manager, and Steve Gibson decided to bring in Steve McLaren, and he had his own ideas. He went down a different route, and for players and for players sometimes, and the manager doesn't work out. And for me, it wasn't meant to be. So Lenny Lawrence, who was my manager when I signed for Middlesbrough originally, took me up to Cardiff and enjoyed 4.5 years there. Really, so still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but you're a bit of a legend at Cardiff, though, weren't you?
It seems that I pick and choose my games, and playoff final. I'd missed the previous 6 games through injury. I had an operation on my hernia, so I didn't expect to be involved in the final at all. Got back probably 4 or 5 days for the game, and the manager asked me was I okay, so made sure I was before I had, because it was such a big game for the football club, again for Cardiff, in Cardiff. Luckily enough, got on the bench, played the last 10-15 minutes normal time and then extra time, and scored the winning goal with 3 minutes to go of extra time, and the rest is history, they say. You know what I mean? For a Middlesbrough fan, to watch Middlesbrough there was one thing, but to score for Cardiff in Cardiff
at the Millennium,
you know what I mean? So to have 2 big occasions in my football life there, you know what I mean, to watch Middlesbrough win the first trophy there and to score the winning goal there were 2 great days for myself.
Okay, finally, Andy, tell me, who were the most influential Borough players? Who were the best players you played with at the Borough?
Janino was the best ever player that I've played with. You know, I played with some stars for England in under-21s, but in my football career, Janino was a genius. You know, I mean, he came with pressure on his shoulders. He'd just been, he played for Brazil and England at Wembley, ripped them apart, and then came with a reputation on his back and played, and he was great. You know, I mean, I learnt so much from him. He's the first foreign player to come into England for me personally and showcasing his talents, and he was fantastic. He was fantastic. But also Paul Gascoigne. You know what I mean? I grew up as a Gaza fan, and Italian 90. Like we all did, we all went through the pain and the heartache of watching him get upset and get him cry. So for me to play with him and be a part of a successful team when he was there, he was great, and I learnt so much on and off the pitch from him and from others, but those 2 stick out a mile for me.
Well, great. Andy, thanks very much for joining us here on Red Army TV today, and great to meet you again.
Thanks, Matt.
So this weekend it's the FA Cup 5th round. Nice bit of progress in the Emirates FA Cup for the Borough. Anthony Ward is with me and Caroline Walker, 2 big Borough fans. I want to ask you about this game this weekend. Should we take it seriously? Do we need to rest players, Anth?
Yeah, absolutely. I believe we should really go for it. You know, it's a welcome distraction from the Premier League. It's an opportunity to get some confidence back into the team. It's an opportunity to get some goals, and we can take that into the Crystal Palace match. I don't think we're going to have to do too much to beat Oxford. I know they played well against Newcastle, but I think at home, with the team that we'll put out, I think we'll be able to score 2 or 3 goals, and it'll give us plenty of confidence for the Crystal Palace match.
Caroline?
Yeah, no, I agree. There's 1 or 2 players, I think, on the sidelines. Patrick Bamford, The boy from Watford, whose name totally escapes me as always.
Widiora.
Thank you, him as well. There's one or two players who perhaps should come in and need 90 minutes. Maybe Ayala, maybe Ledbetter get some time. And I don't think that would weaken the team significantly, but it would give those players an opportunity to show what they can do. And I think that should be good enough to beat, a mid-table, are they about 10th, 11th-ish in League One team. And they could just be the team that actually gets the thrashing that Anthony was talking about, with a bit of luck.
And you're good mates, I know, with Dimmy, and Dimmy played in the Accrington game, got a great welcome from the Borough fans. You probably don't know, you'd never find out until the teams are announced, or I announce the teams. Do you think it'd be nice for Dimmy to turn out on Saturday?
Why not? I mean, he stepped in against Accrington, didn't really have a lot to do, but he dealt with what he had to deal with. Victor's obviously been playing really well over the last few weeks, but I think over the last few years, Karanka's shown that in the Cups he likes to change his goalkeepers. Mayas made a hero out of himself in the Cup competitions last season. And Dimmy deserves his chance. He's still an unbelievable goalkeeper. And why not carry it through and let the lads that get us through these rounds of the competitions. Once we get to the serious end of business, then he's obviously got a decision to make. But against Oxford, he's definitely earned his chance.
Do you think it's damaging to clubs to have a cup run when they are, like in Borough's case, just above the relegation spot? Or do you think actually it's something that clubs should treat more seriously, managers should treat more seriously?
I think they should absolutely treat it seriously. I think the FA Cup should have a Champions League place anyway to give it back its rightful status. But no, I mean, we're all now looking forward to Saturday instead of dreading Saturday and worrying about 3 points and where we're going to be in the league. I don't know what the crowd's going to be like. Hopefully the prices have been good. Hopefully they'll be a good team. Nice atmosphere, decent performance. No, I think it's great. And if we get to the 6th round, if we get to the semis, I'm not going to complain, that's for sure.
The ridiculous thing is, in Borough's history, I mean, all the success really has been in the 20-odd years at the Riverside, because I think the Borough had only ever been to the 6th round of the FA Cup 4 times before we moved to the Riverside. Never been to a semi-final. So 4 times in 100-odd years. So treating it seriously has to be an important thing. And you're right, probably turn out a half-decent team. We've got a squad there. It's a chance for people to make the mark for the next Premier League game, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Do you think, Anth, that Borough fans would like another taste of silverware? I got a little bit close, another final. We've been short of a final for a few years now.
We deserve it, because we've got the best fans in the world, and we've been through a lot in the last 7 years. We've got ourselves back into the Premier League. The Cup competition's always been special for Borough, especially, as I say, we've got a good record over the last, since we've been at the Riverside, and it is a massive opportunity. And the bigger clubs now tending to disrespect the FA Cup because they've got Champions League commitments, they're pushing for Champions League places in the league, and they're starting to prioritise those. And the more that those bigger teams disrespect the FA Cup, it gives teams like ourselves an opportunity to pick up some silverware.
I like that, disrespect. Yeah, disrespect for the FA Cup. Yeah, we'll have it. If they're not interested, we'll have it.
Prime example, there was Crystal Palace against Manchester City. Everyone wants to see Aguero play and De Bruyne and people like that, and they had 14,000 there, because nobody knows what team that these big clubs are going to put out. If we even give it, half, we even put half of our team out, I think we'll have a result on Saturday.
Yeah, I think we will against Oxford. For sure.
I think we've got a good chance.
Great. Okay, predictions for Borough against Oxford United. Last time we played them was that game when we'd, with the Emerson, Ravanelli and Juninho days, we'd fallen back into the First Division, I think it was then. And Oxford was that last game of the season we had to win. And we did. We finished second. So that was the last time we played Oxford. Anth, what do you think the score will be?
3-1 on Saturday. I'd like to think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think Oxford have got a big following coming down.
Yeah. I
think the game will be out of sight before the score, but to be fair, I think it'll be good for their fans to see them get one at the end.
Caroline?
Well, I had the privilege and pleasure of working with Alistair Brownlee at Century Radio.
Yeah.
So God bless Alistair. So I'll put my Alistair Brownlee rose-tinted FA Cup glasses on and say we'll win 4-0.
Wow. Okay. Nearly like the 4-1 that we had that legendary 1967 game. Yeah. I remember that was Alistair's first ever football match as well, first Borough game he ever went to. Used to mention that a lot. Okay, great. Look, thanks for joining us today. Anth and Caroline, we've got our fingers crossed for Saturday here. The Borough against Oxford United in the Emirates FA Cup 5th round. Thanks for coming around my gaff today. I hope you lot are going to hoover up after yourselves. And Dave Roberts will be back in the hot seat, back in the studio next week. Thanks for Andy Campbell as well for being our guest. Joe on the show as well, and for your rants. Usual contact points as well here on the screen. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.
Come on, boy, we can beat these Saturday.
Come on, lads, believe, come on!